Today, Music Talk talks to Bianca Bailey, aka Wiri Donna, about her new EP, Being Alone.
Some things got to give, but I don't know what it is. I'm moving slowly, but I'm moving at full speed. I laid a plan for somebody like me to step into, but I haven't found my...
So you've got your EP out, you're going on tour, everything's going full blast. How are you feeling about it all?
I'm feeling good. I'm very excited to finally have this sort of first full project of Wiri Donna's out to the world, which is
right.
Nice. And haven't been playing a lot of shows recently. Well, no one's been playing a lot of shows recently, and we're finally getting back to it. So I'm mostly just excited to get back to that sort of feeling that you get when you're playing live music, which I love. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think last time I saw you, you were at the tuning fork on a bill with several other folks, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, no, I think that was the last time we were in Auckland. Yeah, it was a super fun show.
So the EP is out. It's called Being Alone. What's the response been? Are you getting feedback at all from anybody?
Yeah, I've been had a couple of reviews that have gone online that I've been really stoked with. One from Ambient Light, which I thought really nailed. I think one of the scariest things about releasing music is sort of putting something out, and maybe there's a context or something that you're trying to describe that maybe doesn't get picked up or people miss in the sort of full production of the song. So it's always really great to hear people sort of listening to it and understanding it and coming away sort of feeling assured or confident and understanding what you're trying to talk about in the first place. So it's
cool.
Nice. It's nice to sort of see people listening to it and understanding sort of everything that my mind was going through. Yeah.
So with the 6 songs that comprise the EP, what was your mind going through when you wrote them?
It was going through a lot. I suppose the EP is very much a coming of age record in terms of I was definitely struggling to sort of find myself on my own in a different city living by myself for the first time in my life, and just trying to sort of start. I know, start when you're moved to a first city for the first time, and you're just trying to find your feet or figure out what you're going to do, where you're going to go with your life. And I sort of laid out a whole bunch of expectations of what I thought that might look like, and then very quickly realized that none of that was going to happen. And then there was a pandemic, and so it was a lot of just trying to, being met with realistic expectations, or trying to understand that no matter how hard you try to lay plans for yourself, or you might have an expectation of how something might go, it's never really going to be the case. Life's always going to throw you twists and turns.
Well, I don't think anybody saw the pandemic coming and lasting as long as it has. So, to be fair, you couldn't see that one coming. Oh man.
No.
So, how you been dealing with it?
I think finally getting to a point where there's been all of this stopping and starting, and where you just get comfortable with not doing anything and learning how to take a break, and then everything sort of opens up again, and everyone's in this frenzy of trying to like overcompensate for the last 3 months of not doing anything and trying to find. I think it's mostly now I'm just trying to find that balance between being okay with not feeling like we have to be doing things all the time, and then when you get back to doing things, not trying to like rush into it too quickly, that it all gets very overwhelming and you want to go back to doing nothing again. Just finding a balance.
Right. Yep. So the EP's the title track is called Being Alone, and I remember you performed it at the Tuning Fork when I saw you last year. So what got you in the mood to write that song? It's pretty intense in places.
He told me what to do with my body. I should have told him it was my fucking body. He has to ask to use it. Will you pay for my hormones? I need a lethal dose.
definitely a point of realization for me after a long period of not of sort of not being comfortable in my skin, or not being sort of at peace with how I was feeling, and sort of starting to take steps to sort of reclaim my relationship with my body and myself, and finding my sense of self. I think I wanted to sort of acknowledge the fact that I had been really depressed, or I'd been in a really dark space for a long time, and sort of find that moment where I was like, okay, I can start to sort of take control of these situations a little bit more, or yeah, reclamation, I suppose, of just finding my own power again. I think that's
Right.
something that I just really wanted to do, and songwriting's always been sort of my way of processing, dealing, and wanting to like express the way that I've maybe felt about any situation. Yeah.
Hmm. And what kind of response have you got from fans who have heard the song?
I think it's always it's one of those topics where people will talk about how much they love the song, or talk about how it's been I think it's a hard song for me to talk about a lot, and so
Right, sure.
it's been a lot of nice words and a lot of support, and most importantly, a lot of my friends have sort of said really nice things about being able to hear it, and people who have maybe known me through that period of my life be like, it's really great
Right.
to hear this like
Right.
personified version of your life. Yeah.
That's followed by a song called Big Pop. There's a lot of guitar in there. It's rock. Is that you playing the guitar?
It's both me, myself, and my friend Theo Salmon, who also plays in Daffodils.
Oh, okay. So what can you tell me about the song, and where did you record it? Were you in a studio, or are you kind of doing it over online? How were the things put together?
Yeah, we recorded the EP at Surgery Studios in Newtown. So
Right.
and with James Goldsmith. So it's a really cool studio. It's very homely. It's got a really nice vibe to it. So yeah, we recorded it there over 2 days, and then I sort of did some pickup guitars and vocals and at James Goldsmith's place, and yeah, and we went back to the studio a couple of times, which was super fun.
And who else is playing on the record with you?
So that's Theo Salmon, who I talked about before, and then it's also Harrison Scholes on bass, and
Right.
James McEwen on drums, who they both play with Juno Oaks as well.
Oh,
Very
right.
fun crew.
Yeah. So is it kind of a scene that you feel a part of there now?
Yeah, I suppose yeah, a lot of people also making music in Wellington, doing the indie rock thing down here is a great
Yep.
community involved. Yeah, there's a great community. It's nice to be a part of it. Yeah.
Cool. I see you made a video for No Follow Through. Tell me about the process of making that.
It was funny because we sort of started the process. I made the video with sports team Annabelle and Callum up in Auckland, and so I sort of had an initial idea to them, or I just told them that I was like, I'd love for you guys to make me my first music video, and I would love it to be not just sort of like a pretty band does a sing-song moment,
Right.
and maybe be something that people could take away a little bit more from the song, rather than just hearing the audio. That was the only brief that I gave them, and they created this ridiculous world where I made my stuffed puppet band members, and taught them how to play the instruments, and then they ended up being a little bit like chaotic toddlers. In the end. And I just end up ripping them all to shreds. It was so much fun. So we sort of had laid plans for a while, and then was able to shoot that towards the end of last year, right as Auckland borders were opening up. So it was super fun process, and Callum and Annabelle are so great to work with, and they've got the best schemes and creative ideas, and it was awesome.
Cool. So now you got a tour coming up. Kicks off like June 10th, I think, in Wellington. What do you got to do? What can we expect on the tour? What are you doing to prepare yourself for it?
We're doing lots of rehearsing, which I'm very excited about. My drummer James has been based up in Auckland for the last couple of months, so I'm mostly just so excited to be able to be playing again together. But I'm very excited for this set. It feels like, I suppose I've never really been able to go on tour after the release of something, but I'm just looking forward to sort of I feel like the whole EP is about like finding my feet a little bit, and I feel like we've got there. So being able to go on tour and be really confident with how we're all playing and how it's sounding is going to be really exciting. Yeah.
Well, to be fair, it is your debut EP, so you couldn't really, other than a few singles here and there, it would have been difficult to tour something.
I'm like, I've got no idea what to expect. Never done it before, but I'm sure it's going to be awesome.
Do you have stuff for the merch table and all that?
Yes, I've got. I actually have. I'll show you.
Okay. Yep.
My chair fell over.
I heard it.
We heard it in my guitar. I actually just got. We just got the records in vinyl form, so that's really cool. I'm super stoked about them. This is like a lifelong dream of mine to have, the physical copy of the music. I was talking to my partner about it, and we're sort of discussing about how he was like, you've got the record now, like it's real. And I was like, what do you mean? Like it wasn't real prior to having it in physical form, but I feel like it just makes it infinitely cooler, infinitely more real being able to hold it.
Exactly.
But we'll also I've got some winter long sleeves and some totes as well. So
cool.
It'll be good.
Well, let's face it, it's more real because 30 years from now, you can still have the record in your hands, and who knows what's going to happen with the digital file thingy, or some stream thing. So.
And hopefully they'll be dispersed across different places and not just still sitting in my bedroom.
Yeah, that's the key. I'm sure you'll get rid of them. So are you thinking about making a full-length album eventually?
Yeah, I think that I still think that there's a little bit of a ways to go in terms of where the Wiri Donna sound will end up, and I'm currently just trying to figure out if the next project is still an EP to sort of take that. I feel like the stuff that I'd released previously was just obviously me in my bedroom with a guitar, and then so it was nice to be able to take it to a studio and do the whole band thing. And so I'm just currently in the process of trying to figure out if there's another evolution that I want to sort of, get a little bit more comfortable with before launching into a full album.
Right.
But also I love albums in terms of, it's my favorite way of consuming music. I love a full length project, and which I think is why I really wanted to get the EP pressed, is because it made it feel to me like it was a bit more of a full length project. But so I'm really drawn to the idea of doing an album, but I'm just sonically trying to figure out where that's going. Yeah.
So when you're thinking about sonically where it's going, do you listen to other contemporary or even vintage music, and does that seep into the way you're thinking about it?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of listening to things that I'm really enjoying at the moment. Like I'm really loving like Dry Cleaning of Black Country New Road and Wet Leg, some artists that are really inspiring me right now. Um, and
Yep.
but then yeah,
Yeah, that Wet Leg album is
so
pretty good,
just
huh?
it's so good. It's so good. And I've been I would like to think that I'd like to think that yeah, no, I'm very, very, very excited. I'm I'm so sorry. I'm just thinking
I believe
about
you're
Wet Leg, and then
speechless.
I'm like, yeah, honestly, yeah, I'm a huge fan of Wet Leg. They just they're just doing some great stuff right now, and yeah, love
Yep.
them,
Well,
love
they're
them.
coming. I believe they're coming to New Zealand, so that should be exciting.
They are. They are. They're playing in Auckland, so I'm hoping that I'm gonna be able to make it up to Auckland for their show. Yeah.
All right. Well, by that time, you should be a big star after your tour, and you should be able to, wield your power and get in, meet the band, all that stuff.
Yeah, it should be. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. I just want to see them play live. I just can't wait.
Yeah. Very good. All righty. Well, in the meantime, have a great time listening to Wet Leg and getting ready, rehearsing with the band, and we look forward to seeing you. I think you're going to be up at the Whammy Bar on July 9th, so we'll see you there, I'm sure.
Yes. Yeah, awesome. I'm looking forward to playing in Auckland again. It's been a minute. And it's always such a great
Yep.
time playing up there. Yeah.
Okay. Have a great day. Thanks for talking to me.
Thank you very much. See ya.